Little more than 12 minutes into Steven Spielberg's classic thriller Jaws, there's a pivotal scene that is symbolic of everything in the film. It lasts for barely 2 minutes, and when juxtaposed with what comes right before and right after the sequence, provides clear meaning for the events, the characters, and even the legendary shark. It is the scene on the small ferry, when Chief of Police Martin Brody intends to get to a group of Boy Scouts attempting to earn their mile swim merit badges. Why? Because he and his deputy have found the remains of a woman who died the night before. The cause of death, Brody types on a form as he is told by the medical inspector, was a shark attack. Brody, as the man in charge of public safety, intends to close the beaches and keep people out of the water. It is a knee-jerk reaction that makes no real sense logically. The film's fictional setting, Amity, is essentially Martha's Vineyard, the island off the coast of Massachusetts where the movie was shot. As of 2025, there have been 6 confirmed unprovoked shark attacks off the Massachusetts coast since 1958. There's only been 1 fatal shark attack since 1936. It would make absolutely no sense to close the beaches. This is especially true considering how the town survives: summer dollars via tourism. Spielberg and his writers, Peter Benchley, on whose novel the film is based, and screenwriter Carl Gottlieb, make this abundantly clear. Gottlieb, in fact, also portrays newspaper editor Harry Meadows, who is on the ferry with Mayor Vaughn, the medical inspector, Brody's deputy, and a town selectman. They are impressing upon Brody the absolute necessity of keeping the beaches open.
It's first summer, you know.
What does that mean?
I'm only trying to say that Amity is a summer town. We need summer dollars.
Even before they meet on the ferry, all of Brody's interactions with townspeople revolve around town business, and a store owner complains to a vendor about the importance of the summer season when Brody goes in to buy paint and paintbrushes for beach close signs.
That stuff isn't going to help me in August. The summer kings come down here in June.
Brody, as the mayor reminds him, is an outsider who simply does not understand local economics. This theme of Brody being an outsider is introduced when we first meet him. He's a New Yorker who playfully and poorly mimics a New England accent in a conversation with his wife.
In Amity, you say yard.
They're in the yard, not too far from the car. How's that?
Like you're from New York.
She is later reminded by a local that they will forever be seen as outsiders.
I just want to know one simple thing. When do I get to become an islander?
Ellen, never. Never. You're not born here, you're not an islander.
Maybe
That's it.
The town's selectmen, and Mayor Vaughn in particular, are almost always considered by viewers to be the real villains, who cause needless and horrible death through decisions rooted in greed. Some have even called the film a criticism of capitalism run amok. That position is only possible because of what follows: the death of the Kintner boy and the man who was killed by the shark when he rows out to help Brody's son and his friends on their small boat. But those things happen in the face of odds so long that they can scarcely be calculated. Logically, Mayor Vaughn and the selectmen are right in keeping the beaches open. It would be economic suicide to turn away tourists on the infinitesimal chance that there might be a second unprovoked shark attack. It's the week leading to the 4th of July, and the money that flows into Amity over the next month will keep the entire community alive until the following summer. Everything is focused on summer dollars, and signs for rentals are everywhere. Sure, the mayor is a businessman also looking out for his realty company, but there's no refuting that he's merely acting logically, in coordination with other community and business leaders, to pursue the town's best interests. It isn't capitalism operating without restraint or the evil acts of greedy people more concerned about money than safety. It's just logic. Now, it surely looks bad that the medical inspector is willing to amend his report and change the cause of death to a boating accident. That just invites controversy. It does not change the fact, however, that a second shark attack is essentially statistically impossible, and Mayor Vaughn is right about the visceral reaction to the word shark.
Martin, it's all psychological. You yell barracuda. Everybody says, huh? What? You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
The decision to shoot the scene on the ferry is quite interesting from a symbolic standpoint. There is a gap between what the town faced the day before and now. They're all stuck between action and inaction. The mayor and selectmen believe that no actual movement is needed. Brody would like to, quote, get to the other side, end quote, by closing the beaches and ensuring safety. Ultimately, the ferry does not actually go anywhere. It briefly moves forward, as Brody briefly moves forward with his decision, before it turns back. Nothing has actually changed, and there is a return to the status quo. Those Boy Scouts, by the way, get their merit badges and emerge just fine, and it makes perfect sense that they do. Objectively, Brody is overreacting, as Gottlieb's Meadow reminds him.
That doesn't mean we have to serve them up a smorgasbord. We never had that kind of trouble in these waters.
Even after Alex Kintner is attacked and killed, the selectmen, Mayor Vaughn, and the townspeople themselves resist shutting things down. When there is an uproar over closing the beaches even for 24 hours, Mayor Vaughn steps in and again makes what is in the moment a logical and measured decision.
Only 24 hours.
Brody, as always, is the consummate outsider, not a townsperson and not viewed as a town elder. He's seen as a kind of rogue, one operating independently and outside the system. And in this sense, he is a symbolic parallel to the shark itself, an entity that Hooper also refers to as a rogue.
Now, this shark that swims alone. Rogue. What's it called? Rogue. Rogue.
Brody is eventually seen as the only clear thinker because of his outsider status, the only person capable, because he is a rogue, of leading a force against his symbolic counterpart, a dangerous, aberrant entity. But Brody is only proved right because of a once-in-a-lifetime fluke series of events. Mayor Vaughn isn't the villain. He's a politician and businessman playing with loaded dice who somehow loses anyway. He and the town are ruined, but it's just bad luck.
I was acting in the town's best interest.
That's right, you were acting in the town's best interest, and that's why you're going to do the right thing. That's why you're going to sign this, and we're going to pay that guy what he wants.